almost in a whisper. "It is said that all evil in a man's life comes back to him when he is dying." She crossed herself and drew her ragged blanket up around her shoulders. "His evil lies dark and heavy upon us. Can you feel it?" "There's plenty of evil to go around," Sam said, not wanting to encourage further discussion on the matter. "What I can feel are desert wolves prowling our flanks." He glanced around the purple night. "I hate firing a rifle, but we're going to have to do something pretty soon. They're getting too bold." Even as he spoke, he saw a large wolf dive forward out of the greater darkness, lunge a few feet toward the mule, then circle back out of sight. "Testing us," he added. "They smell his warm blood," the woman whispered. She looked up at the young girl and said, "Get down in the cart, Anna." The girl followed the woman's order quickly. The woman turned back to the ranger. "If I slipped a knife into his heart, his blood would stop. We could leave him here for them, see?" Sam just looked at her for a moment. Slipped a knife? Not stabbed or stuck, but slipped, he thought. She made it sound painless, almost merciful. She was right that killing him and leaving him would solve their problem. But he shook his head. "We're not going to do that, ma'am," he said. "Then we must roll him out," she urged, "and let the wolves do their own killing." "Stop it," Sam said. "No, God forgive me, of course we are not going to do that," she said, crossing herself quickly. She paused. The two of them watched two wolves move into sight on the darkened trail ahead of them. The wolves stood with their heads lowered, as if to bring the mule cart and the riders to a halt. "Easy, copper," Sam said to the dun beneath him as the horse grumbled and chuffed under its breath. He drew a taut hand on the reins to the mule cart. Beside him, the barb tried to balk, but the woman kept it settled. Sam gathered the dun's reins and the mule's into his left hand. He lifted the rifle from across his lap. The mere sight of the rifle coming up sent the wolves back into the darkness. "All right, it's time we do something," he said. "I will do it," the woman said without hesitation. "No, that's not what I mean," Sam said. "Here, hold these animals." He held out both sets of reins. The woman took the reins with an almost disappointed look in her dark eyes. She watched the ranger slip down from the dun's back, cocked rifle in hand, and walked to the rear of the cart. "I don't like doing this," he murmured to himself. He untied the ropes holding Mickey Cousin's body to the board and let it fall to the ground. He took the knife from inside his boot well as he looked at melon-sized stones littering the edges of the trail on either side. "Tough break, Mickey," he said to the blanket-wrapped corpse. The woman watched the ranger from her saddle. The young girl peeked over the cart's edge. From in the cart bed, Vernon Troxell awakened slightly and began anew his mindless litany to the wolves. "I'll kill every damn one of yous! Damn your eyes!" he raged in warning. But his breathing was weak and shallow, and his words fell away into the starlit darkness. The wolves gathered just out of sight and watched the ranger intently. As the woman and the young girl watched the ranger carry out his gruesome handiwork, they turned away from him from time to time and looked at each other with caged eyes. After a moment the ranger had finished severing Cousin's head from his body and walked back toward them, washing his hands in a trickle of water from a canteen. He saw the young girl staring down at him over the edge of the cart. "Sorry you two had to see that," he said firmly to the woman as he capped the canteen. He took the rifle from under his arm and swung up into his saddle. "We have seen much worse things than this," the woman replied flatly, handing him the reins to his dun. They heard the rustle of paws out of sight in the sand. "Why did you carry the rocks? Was it to cover the body in respect for the dead?" "Maybe," Sam replied, not wanting to talk about it. "Maybe it's to let them know they have to work for it. Buy us some time to get out of here." He took the reins to the mule cart, turned the dun to the trail, and tapped his heels to it.